Good evenings, greetings, and salutations, and welcome to another exciting, action-packed edition of AIWF Ringside Wrestling, live from the PWD studios in Concord, North Carolina. I am Mad Matt Carter from his palatial estate in White Plains, North Carolina. Rick Diesel, Commissioner Rick Diesel, and Brian Danzig from his lovely home in the Winston-Salem area. I've never been there, so I couldn't think of anything creative to say about it.
That's all right. Not that much creative to say about it.
Well,
it's home.
Yeah, there you go. The age we live in. We talked about before how we used to have to drive for hours and go to all different places to do TV, and now we can just go in our office and click the mouse a few times and worldwide, baby.
Yeah, me and Matt was talking earlier about how we used to have to meet in Stewart to get tapes.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yes, indeed.
Not now. Now I just upload the wrong video to the internet. Go back and redo it. But I got it. I sent you the right one, Matt.
That's all right. We'll get it up. And we're going to talk about all the things that went on at seasons beatings. The AIWF, it's a lot of controversy going on, but we got other wrestling news to go on, and the tapes release and when it's coming out on the network and the officiating. Oh my goodness, it's just so much to get to this week. So let's get started. Let me see if I can get my screen shared up here and get the slideshow going for you guys. All right, can we see the slideshow?
Yes.
Thank you, and off we go. So welcome to Ringside Wrestling for January 8th. We took a week off, but we're back. We got the cheapest rates in advertising, ladies and gentlemen. I always start off with this, but you can't beat our rates. $10 per month for a 30-second to 1-minute read, which I will demonstrate for you later on. Of course, if you want to do it by the week, if you got a show you want to promote or something and just be on here one time, not a problem. We'll work with you. Only $6 for those. Of course, if you want a video commercial produced, it's a little bit pricier, but not much, $30 a month. And $20 a week. So we are definitely keeping things affordable. So if you got a side hustle, you do taxes on the side. I mean, come on, folks. The holidays are over. Let's face it. Tax season is here. If you like to do taxes and stuff like that for people, the perfect place for you, because next to little to no investment. I mean, you can't get 2 ventis at Starbucks for what we charge for advertising here. So come on over. We'd love to have you in the family. This podcast is seen live on Facebook when we do it every week, or almost every week. The show is also archived on YouTube, and it goes up on all your favorite podcast platforms. We've even got an episode on the AIWF Network Roku channel. And so we are kind of all over the place. You can reach out to us at AIWF20@hotmail.com, or you can hit me up on social media, or hit Rick Diesel up on social media, and we will be glad to get you all set up. So, and of course, we are on Instagram. That's another place you can hit us up. We said all social media, AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling and Diesel 24/7 on Instagram. Big news story this week, ladies and gentlemen, is Vince McMahon is back in the WWF, the WWE. And I got some pictures of young Vince there. The Tuesday Night Titans, one of his announcing. There he is with his father. And, of course, interviewing Andre the Giant. Some of Vince's latest photos are not as flattering. He looks more like his father. And when I was introduced to Vince, it was just as a young kid, and he was with Jesse the Body Ventura. And I thought that they were quite the cantankerous and combative announce team back in those days. But Vince has come back. And it's rumored that he is back, not to mess with creative, fingers crossed on that one, that he is going to broker the sale of the WWE, and which he owns 80% of the stock. Kind of like to go around the room and get your opinions. Disney and NBC Universal are being the front runners, though if I was a gambling man, I would say that prize is probably going to NBC, because I don't know that it really fits Disney's brand with all that violence. Of course, I say that, and they own the Marvel archive and Star Wars, pretty violent, a lot of shooting, explosions, and people getting cut in half with laser swords. So either one's really kind of a good fit. What do you guys think? Opinions? I'll start with you, Rick Diesel.
I don't know if Disney buys it, will they change the divas' name to princesses? Will they all be Disney princesses then?
I don't know. I really don't think that Disney. I mean, that's funny, but Disney hadn't really messed with the stuff that they bought. You know, the Marvel stuff that you know they put the R-rated stuff on the Disney Plus. You just had to, you know.
They
Fair
did
fight.
edit out a part of Splash where you can see Daryl Hannah's rear end.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
But then again, it's probably because that movie is probably PG.
Oh yeah, because it's so old.
Right. So it's probably more of like because of the rating, they changed it. But yeah, other than that, I don't think they've.
My money's on NBC Universal. I mean, they do own the USA Network. I mean, you know, everything's already in place.
Yeah, and the network's already on Peacock.
Right.
Too. I did see on Twitter that the Saudis were interested.
Yes.
In buying WWE.
Oh my God.
They they make a lot of money when WWE comes there. They make a lot of money on it, but I don't know if it's a good long-term investment for them. But I mean, they probably have more money than Disney and NBC combined. So if they want it, they could have it.
I don't care.
Sell our women's division though. If the
I feel like every who buys it, it'll be the first nail in the coffin of WWE.
Yeah.
If Saudi Arabia buys it, you mean?
Anybody.
Oh, I agree.
Any of these people here, because that's what killed WCW. I mean, it shot it up for a while, but then it killed it because they started putting TV people in charge.
Yep.
And if NBC Universal or Disney or, you know, Saudi Arabia, any of these people, they're going to want to put their people in charge, and their people's going to be like, well, this is the way I want it done, and this is the way it's going to be, and eventually it's going to bury it.
Yeah, I'm fearful of that too. The hope that I have, if it goes to NBC Universal is one of the oldest studios in Hollywood. NBC is one of the oldest networks on television. I mean, they were one of the original ones that pioneered television. I would think that with that history, they would have enough experience to know when to leave well enough alone. Like, you know, the guy that like produces NASCAR is not going to just walk over one day to the set of La Brea and start telling them how to set up shots. You know what I mean?
Well, the NBC Universal would be the best one out of everybody because they've had such a long relationship with WWE. They know how things are supposed to be done there, and they know to leave well enough alone. How long have they been with USA Network?
God, since the early 80s, I would think.
Yeah.
So was it Main Event? Main Event was on NBC too,
yes.
right?
Saturday night's Main Event. Yes, it was. It went to Fox like a couple of times in '92, I think, but that was short-lived and terrible.
I feel like the NBC Universal people has been in business with WWE long enough to know that if they just stay out of the way, they know how things are run there.
Yeah, because it's not another ego buying it.
Right.
Like it's a conglomerate that's buying it for its appeal. It's not an ego buying it to like pump themselves up like WCW was with Turner, you know, things like that.
Well, the one thing, if NBC Universal gets it, the one thing that you can almost count on is the deal with Fox will be trashed real quick.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Because I mean, why would you do
SmackDown
that?
and go back over to the Sci-Fi Network?
Oh God, I hope not. I mean, to me, and I know nothing about programming a television network, linear, over the air, old school television network. But to me, the ratings, although down from what they used to be. Of course, they ain't never going back to the days of the 90s because there's just more channels available, more streaming services. That's just not happening. But seems to me that SmackDown's been successful enough on Fox that if NBC Universal buys it, why put it on USA? I'd move it to regular NBC and just, you know, and keep that popping that big rating, because if you and I watch this stuff, well, I listen to it, but every time Fox has to preempt SmackDown or move it over to FS1 because of another event or special they're showing on Friday night, it cuts the rating in half. Always, at least just right in half. So
Well, you know,
to me, it'd be a smart decision to put it over the air. I just
and
think.
so a weird thing that NBC is also doing now is they're going to stop. They plan on stop doing broadcasting after 10 and flip it back to local stations. So
Really?
they have that, yes. So now they have this opening at 10 if they're actually going to do that, you know, to put a wrestling show on like another. Oh yeah, they had said that they were going to start planning that in the future to start giving 10 o'clock back to the locals.
I heard that somewhere.
But what happens if you do that now? Are they going to come back on for like the Tonight Show?
Yeah, they're going to come back for the Tonight Show. So I guess what they would do is they would release for 10, 11, and then come back at, I guess 11. What time does that come on? 11:30 or 12?
11:30.
Yeah, 11:30.
That way they can put Cooking with Betty on there.
Well, or I guess like put a news show on at 10
Yeah,
for
local news.
like a local news on at 10. Like,
Well, local
and then-
news has got where it's freaking 9 hours a day
Yeah.
anyhow. You know, oh hey, catch us at 4 and 5 and 6.
Yeah, they do, and they you know, they stagger, you know, a lot of the main stories. So if you stay with us to 4:30, we'll tell you how a school bus driver ran over a bunch of kids at the playground, you know, and you know, just stuff to bait you. And I know it's kind of dark, but it is what they do. So, but yeah, now the TV station, we got one down here in Charlotte, our CBS affiliate. They would love this because they love to produce local shows. They do the local news, like Rick Diesel was saying. They have a human interest show at 9 a.m. in the morning, then do it again at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, they produce a lot of local TV here. And so I don't know if the NBC affiliate would be down to do that or not, but according to a source that I have that works in local television in Charleston, West Virginia, nod, nod, wink, wink, or used to, told me that it is just as cost effective for these network affiliates to produce live TV as opposed to getting the rights to syndicate something like Big Bang Theory, which seems to be all the rage right now. Every station's got that show on right now. So, and I liked it, but good God, man, they're beating it to death.
They are.
I mean, and my hatred of Sheldon Cooper just continues to grow by leaps and bounds. And that show's been off the air for what, 4 or 5 years now. But you know, Texans, they're always loudmouths. So
You can only watch Sheldon pull out the roommate agreement so often.
Yeah. But what's weird about that is like, I originally hated Sheldon on the Big Bang Theory, but when they came out with the show Young Sheldon, loved that. You know, I don't know why, but anyways.
Maybe it's because he's a kid and you can excuse the way he acts because he's a kid, but then when you see a full-grown adult acting like that, it becomes annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but that, you know, that might have something to do with it.
The Big Bang Theory rolls into AEW on Wednesday night on TBS, and my wife walked in to tell me good night the other night, and I looked at her and I was like, I want to punch Sheldon in the face so bad. Like, you know, I'd be scared to actually meet Jim Parsons in person because I'd be afraid that I wouldn't be able to distinguish the character from the real guy. But truth be told, all jokes aside, I have a breaking news story of Meltzer-like levels because I actually have found out through my very reliable sources who is going to buy the WWE. I already know it. I'm going to break it on the show right now. Facebook people, get a pencil and paper. Now, nobody uses pencil and paper anymore. Start recording this show in some way, shape, or form, because I know who is going to buy WWE. The only two people I know with the money to buy WWE besides Disney or Universal or the Saudi government are these individuals right here. Rick Diesel and David Crockett.
Heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Those are the new owners of WWE, David Crockett and Rick Diesel. And so,
well, let me tell you what. If me and David Crockett was to run a freaking wrestling program, God, it might be awesome, wouldn't it?
yes, it would. It would.
He is a super nice guy.
He is. I met him once too. He just is down to earth and laid back. You know, after WCW closed, I don't know if you guys know this, but he went to work for the American Red Cross, helping with logistics in disaster areas. And, you know, did that for like 20 years. He just recently left them a few years ago. So David's a great guy. He really is. But anyway.
When I was at that show that night, out of everybody that was there, he was the only one I cared about talking to. Out of all the names, you know, and the stars that was there, he was the only one I cared about talking to.
Well, yeah, because you could learn more from him. He's got more experience. He actually helped run a very successful territorial promotion for many years. I mean, his father passed away in 1973, and they didn't go out of business till 88. So, you know, that's a pretty good run.
Yeah.
And they had to go through the whole John Ringley thing. And so, you know, when that didn't work, when their father died, John Ringley took over the company. He was married to their sister. And then they found out that he was having an affair. So that didn't last much longer. And that's when Jimmy took it over. But have you ever heard the story of how David Crockett became lead announcer on Worldwide Wrestling? Rick Diesel, you're smiling and clapping. Have you heard this story?
What? No, Reagan.
Yeah.
Remember what I told you today during lunch about
yeah.
Matt?
Yeah.
About Matt?
Yeah, with his brain and his knowledge, yes.
Yeah, and his steel trap that he just retains everything.
He does retain knowledge. I wish I could. Considering his background, I'm thoroughly impressed with his back.
Wait a minute.
That's why I told you he would be such an asset for that little project we was talking about today.
Yes.
Well, and what Reagan is referring to when she says my background, I was quite the marijuana enthusiast in my 20s, which has killed.
I was trying to be PC, Matt.
Well, I mean, I'll put it out there. I got nothing to hide. And so, I mean, but it has affected some of my short-term memory, but you know, it's kind of like you ever met like an old timer who can tell you about what happened in the 40s and the 50s like it was yesterday, but can't remember what happened 5 minutes ago? That's me. But here's the funny story about David Crockett. All right, so they used to film Mid-Atlantic and Worldwide at WRAL in Raleigh right before they moved to Charlotte. The reason they moved to Charlotte is because the show PM Magazine needed the studio that they were using for wrestling. Do you remember that show, guys?
I love that show.
I remember that show, yeah.
Yep. So, but anyway, when they started up Worldwide Wrestling, it was supposed to be Tom Miller, Truckin' Tom Miller. You remember the ring announcer, that was with Crockett Promotions back in the 80s?
Oh, Matt, we don't remember.
Anyway, he was a radio personality here in Charlotte, and he was supposed to do the job. But when they got filming, let's say Truckin' Tom had been knocking back a few cocktails before they started filming. So, you know, it's like really illegal to put somebody drunk on television. So they drew straws, and David drew the short straw and got stuck with lead announcing Worldwide Wrestling. And that lasted for, God, I want to say 8-9 years, maybe even longer than that. So, because they had Bob for Mid-Atlantic, but that's how David Crockett got the job at Worldwide Wrestling. I always thought that was a funny story.
And there you have it from Encyclopedia Matt Carter.
Yeah. And I heard it on the Tony Schiavone podcast. So, I mean, let's just talk, we're all our sources, but David told that story on that show. Anyway, let me go pay some bills real quick here. We'll get into our next topic of discussion. Premier Auto Detailing is our newest sponsor here on the show, and they offer great service. They can turn, we joke, they say we can turn that, make that old jalopy look like it just rolled off the showroom floor, and they do. They get down in all the nooks and crannies of your car and give it a spot on cleaning job. It will look like it just came off the line at the factory. They can clean up any kind of mess you got. They also do fleet services. So if you've got a small used car lot, something like that, you need vehicles cleaned on the regular, Premier Auto Detailing is a place you need to go. All you need to do, for those of you listening, write this number down, 336-883-5722, 336-883-5722. Give them a call and they can help you out. It's Premier Auto Detailing, the finest detailing outfit in all of Surrey County. Give them a call as quick as you can, 336-883-5722, and be sure to tell them that AIWF Ringside Wrestling sent you. Also, Tees Creations Custom Apparel was still with us again. And look at this, folks. It's some of these new t-shirt designs they got on here. I was confused. This is like, you see the t-shirt designs here, and I know that you listening are getting driven crazy here, but they can design just about any type of t-shirt, anything like that you want, but they have a wide selection that you can browse through at teescreations22.com. More to list here. I just found you the ones that I thought looked kind of cool. But
and they're also doing the capital punishment t-shirt that's coming up.
Yes, that's a beautiful piece of artwork right there. And feel bad that I don't think I got that on the slideshow.
All right, we got time.
All right.
Not till February 18th.
teescreations22.com or facebook.com/teescreations. And the one thing that I like here is this license plate that you got here, because here in North Carolina, I know you and people in Virginia don't have to run front and rear license plates, but in North Carolina you only have to run rear license plates. So a lot of people use custom plates for their front, and this is what you got here. They can design those things for you too. They also do tumblers and all kinds of nice stuff. So check them out, Tees Creations 22 or facebook.com/Tees Creations. Very affordable and cool t-shirt and apparel ideas. All right, here we go, folks. It's coming up this Saturday night. Let's not mince words about it. It's going to be a big 8-man elimination match coming up this Saturday night at Veterans Park.
Not this Saturday.
21st.
I'm sorry. The dates are cut off of this thing. So
Sorry.
But
yeah, it's the 21st, Veterans Park.
21st at Veterans Park. Yep. And look at this big 8-man elimination tag team we got. The Sioux Dudes with Attitude, Justin Flash and Ty Tyson on one side, Case and Kane and Don Pete from the Fighters Club on the other side, Benny Conley and Kevin Phoenix Cochran III. I like to call him Triple K, and he's the vice president of the network. And they're gonna square off and do battle. This is a whole messy situation we got coming down from season's beatings.
But you know what? This is all that's been released. This is the poster. This is the only match that's been talked about. And even while we were on this show just now, I was processing ticket orders for reserved seats. And this is the only match that's been announced. So
it's a big matchup. It's got some of the biggest stars and talents in the AIWF in one match. So
yes.
it's going to be very interesting.
Is this Ty's return to the ring?
He returned at season's beatings. I mean, people we ain't gonna say how, but he did return at season's beatings.
So I'm limited on what information I can share with the public. It sounds
that damn Roku channel.
Bane of my existence.
Teaser, man. That's a teaser.
Yeah, you want to know what you want to know the details? Go to AIWF Roku channel.
That's right. It'll be up on Roku sometime between now and July.
August.
Hey, I was giving him a benefit of the doubt for July, man.
I thought of that joke earlier today when I was at Food Line. And I don't know why that association happened, but yeah, a lot of
He'll get
weird-
that up quicker. He was heavily involved in season's meetings, so he'll want to get that up quick.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's true. Oh,
I'll get a phone call over that one.
well, he's got the link to this show if he wants to jump in and speak his mind, and go right ahead. But yeah, sometimes
Maybe we can buy the
Triple
WWE.
K a little slow to the draw when it comes to the Roku network, but that's all right.
Well, I will tell you this, and I will. I am a very teasing person, but I will say that after I left the little lunch meeting today on the drive back home, I had a 30-minute conversation with somebody who, if what we talked about comes to fruition, and it could blow up in our face, I don't know, it could just go ding and go away. But if it comes to pass, it's going to change everything.
Is that in the ring or well, that is a vague tease. I got somebody in the waiting room that's using their phone to identify themselves. Maybe this is who's
Nah,
that?
I know who that is. I sent him the link.
Oh, that's Tim.
Yeah, he's working. He's doing the shoot job tonight, and he's bored, so I
Oh,
felt
okay.
bad for him.
Well, welcome, Tim. So one other thing that has been announced, though, and I hope it's okay to announce this because it's all over the Facebook page, so I assume it's for public consumption. But this gentleman here is returning to the Mid-Atlantic area. Kay Holiday, who we're friends on social media somehow, but I don't know if I've ever met this guy or not. Or
I
what
can't remember if he's worked for us before. He may be making his debut.
he may be. Well, he's definitely got a heavy presence on social media.
When
And,
they sent me the information about this, so that all I know is they said Kay Holiday's coming. I'm like, okay. But you're right. He is all over social media.
Apparently in September 20th, 2022, he did a crazy 8.
Oh,
okay. All right. So-
Kay Holiday is ready to win his first AIWF Crazy 8 tournament. I see a promo
Oh, okay.
Facebook.
Cool.
in
but that was not here.
No, not in the
okay.
Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, that was because the Crazy 8 a few years ago became the Mid-Atlantic gave the rights to it over to the AIWF as a whole, and now it's a traveling show.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think in 2022 it was in Lumberton with Ring Wars Carolina.
I think so. Yep.
Okay.
So,
Well, my research did not help, man.
no, it
Oh, it
did.
did.
It did. It did. It did.
It did.
I'm glad you got your Google machine at the ready, Reagan. All right. Well, guess what did make the slideshow? Ah, that is the t-shirt.
There it is.
There is the t-shirt. The Gang Wars Capital Punishment t-shirt takes place February 18th, but you can pre-order yours now. All you gotta do is reach out to Tees Creations like we talked to about earlier. teescreations22.com, or they can reach out to us on the Mid-Atlantic Facebook page. We can usually take care of those orders too. So pretty good looking shirt. I stretched it there to fill up the screen. That looks like about a 6X. I might be able to squeeze into that. Anyway, yeah, Capital Punishment Gang Wars coming your way February 18th. Remember, January 21st is the big day.
Capital Punishment Gang Wars coming your way February 18th.
Now, see, you let Tim in here and he just starts feeding back immediately. Yeah.
He's out in that truck, and I felt sorry for him. Come on now.
Just
Is that better, Matt?
yes, sir. That's much better.
What did they say, Matt? Hey, turn your radio down.
Yeah, turn your radio down. Turn your TV
That's
down.
Turn your
radio
TV
off.
down. Yeah, turn your TV down.
Yeah.
That's
He's-
what they say on the QVC.
Yeah. Yeah. When they answer the phone, hello. Yeah. Oh boy. Young people are not going to know what we're talking about, but it was the bane of every
I
TV
just
producer's
aged
existence.
myself.
Yeah, we're all old. All right. So without being able to cover much from season's beatings, like I had this whole format planned out. We were going to examine some videos and stuff like that. And But I
Well, as long as you don't show the ultra important information, we got to push them to the Roku channel.
well, yeah, I do want to push them to the Roku channel, but I want to give them enough information to get interested.
Well, yeah, you can do that.
I was thinking of naming I'm starting to put titles on these shows, and let me tell you what my idea is, and then we can discuss whether we need to show some of the film or not. But I was going to title this show Houston, We Have an Officiating Problem, because we really do. Because, all right, say what you want about Dalen, at least you know where he stands. If he's in a Fighters Club match, he takes off the striped shirt and handles it accordingly. Lord knows Justin Flash found that out at Season's Beatings. But if Dalen's not involved in a Fighters Club match, he's pretty straight down the middle.
He is.
Yeah. And he's a good referee. Dalen, actually, before the show, Season's Beatings, I had some questions about an officiating call that Smiling Diamond Dave had made, and Dalen pulls out his phone, which he must keep a whole wrestling archive on, finds the video, and helps me do a little, research about the ruling or whatever, that I could talk about on the commentary that I did for the videos that I shot. So, you know where he stands. But wrestling, I guess it's kind of like NASCAR. If something works for one team, another team tries to do it, and we kind of saw that with Kevin Phoenix Cochran III. It's like, oh, well, you're going to get a crooked referee. I want one too. And so I don't know how much I'm skating here, Rick Diesel, how much you want me to give away, but things certainly took a turn for the weird now, with referee Timmy, not Tim Stone that's with us here, but younger Timmy.
Yeah. Let's just say that referee Timmy crossed a line that he may regret later. How's that? Can we put it like that?
Mm-hmm.
Does that work?
I'm concerned though, because now corrupt officiating seems to it's kind of like a forest fire. It started small and was manageable, but we didn't get on top of it fast enough. I think that Smiling Diamond Dave could have put a stop to that a little quicker. That's my opinion. But and now it's like we've got an issue. We've got
there is some things, Matt. Let me get back. I'm sharing the show, so if I look like I'm doing weird things,
yeah, I understand.
We can say, don't you think we should be able to say some of the things that happened? It's like we know now that Smiling Diamond Dave is gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
I mean, we can say that. We don't, but we can tell people the destination, but it's the journey that they're going to want to go take on Roku.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It does. And look, folks, I love announcing that we have new champions, and we have new AIWF Mid-Atlantic Tag Team champions. In that same vein, the Fighters Club has struck gold again. This time, David Parrish and Don Pete have won the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Tag Team title. So the Fighters Club has got, they got more gold than a rapper's teeth. It's like they have really, really, really piled up. Reagan think I was funny. But
that's skirting the line, Matt.
Well, I mean, it's
Okay.
true. It's
Yeah,
not,
it's true.
am I wrong?
It tickled me.
Well, maybe not so much anymore, but
with Small and Diamond Dave, he didn't spend as much time as he should have commissioning. He was, spending a lot of time, I don't know, a lot of ring time, a lot of not doing his commissioning job.
Trying to handle personal vendettas, I think is what you're getting at.
Exactly. Exactly. When there's all this chaos going on, with refs, with wrestlers, with clubs, and he's focused, yeah, on personal vendettas, and I don't know where it's going to go with who's going to be in charge, but you know.
Well, you know who's going to be in charge.
Yeah,
I mean, unless something drastic changes, Kevin Cochran, Phoenix, Roscoe Coltrane is in the goddamn driver's seat now.
Just call him Triple K. It's easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's got a conglomerate in there now. His conglomerate, Kevin Phoenix Cochran, I think. But anyway. But yeah, so I mean, Dave, I think had tried, but yeah, he spent a lot of time not doing the commissioner job, and maybe now we need somebody in there who's going to do the commissioner job. Maybe I'm just playing devil's advocate because I know the chaos that Triple K can cause, but you know,
Yeah. I don't foresee the situation
God.
improving. I don't see the situation improving with Kevin Phoenix Cochran, honestly, because he's so easily distracted.
Wait a minute. Is
Benny
there
and-
3 Ks?
no, it's KPC. It's like
Okay.
Well,
All right.
no, I thought he spelled the
KPC.
Cochran with a K. I think the Cochran spelled with a K.
Well, wait a minute. I can look.
I'm looking. It's
Yeah.
it's KPK3.
Yeah, that's where I get the Triple
Okay.
K.
All right, that's good because for some reason I
It's
just think it's weird.
No, I'm right. Mr. Conglomerate Kevin Phoenix Cochran III. Yes, you say the whole thing.
Yeah, that's
Well, see, I just had this weird flashback of people sitting in the crowd when he comes out chanting KKK.
Oh my God. I didn't even.
You didn't get that?
No.
No, you didn't get that. I've been working that
I'm
since the
going to
beginning of
bed.
the
I'm
I
going
thought
to
of that
bed.
this afternoon, and I was like, I got something for the show.
Oh my God.
Oh, man. Oh, I was like, wait a minute.
But yeah, but I mean, it is a good way. I mean, still, it's funny, but you can easily see the tie-in there. But it is easier to say. I will say that it goes a little quicker. So
Yeah, but nowadays we got to call him like KPK.
yeah, I mean, it would be easier. I mean, the Triple K thing was just a joke, but
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, it would be, yeah, I think it'd be easier than
I think
saying
it's
that
supposed
whole
to be
thing.
CKPK.
Oh God, I don't
Because you got
know.
to put the gauntlet in there. I'm just advocating for his new name.
Mm,
I
and
want
not-
to advocate for somebody to kick him in the shin.
I'd like to advocate for him to actually get in this shit on the network. But because he's spoiling my fun on YouTube by being slow. That's all right. I'm going to negotiate some more with the media rights teams when we see each other again in a couple of weeks and see what we can come up with. But no,
30-minute conversation.
oh, it won't take that long.
If it happens,
Oh, what at the negotiating rights? Oh, it won't take that long.
no, the conversation I had today on the ride back from my meeting, and
Gee, you're just gonna have to tell us off air.
oh yeah, I will off camera, but but
Just
I
make
ain't gonna
sure-
put my foot in my mouth on the
Sure.
show and it
Oh.
not happen.
Oh, okay. So, okay, we're going to find out. You know, it drives me crazy when the other podcasters do this, but now that we're doing it, it seems kind of fun. But no, I mean, getting back to the corrupt officiating, it bothers me. It's like we've seen throughout the years, you've had your Danny Davis, your Nick Patricks, your Earl Hebner when he first went into WWE is the evil twin, right? He screwed Hogan out of the title. That was on NBC.
That'll
Tying
never
into
be
what we
beat
did.
right there. I don't care what
No.
somebody else does.
No, that rating will never be equaled again, ever. So if you're wondering what we're talking about, folks, go on your Peacock, go to WWE, search Saturday night's main event, and look for the main event, February 5th, 1988, and watch that. That was the highest rated wrestling show of all time, and it still holds that record. So, but anyway, it's like we've seen it here and there, but to have two corrupt officials working on a card at the same time, it's problematic to say the least, I would think. Brian Danzig, what do you think? You're kind of a wrestling purist, so.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I think that one of the reasons that commissioners and higher ups of the AIWF kind of have let this kind of go too far is that corrupt officials, it makes for interesting television. It puts a new spin on things, but once it goes too far and the fans can't trust any referee, then it's gonna take away from the matches overall. You know, it's like if this guy wins, if somebody wins, they're gonna be like, did he really win or did he pay off the referee?
Yeah.
You know, and
You can't go too far with it.
right. And it does, when it happens, like you said, that Saturday night's main event, biggest ratings of all time, it does make for interesting television when somebody in that match who is usually invisible, a very important part of the match, but not the star, becomes the star by screwing over one of the other wrestlers, then it does make for a very interesting story, but in the long run, it deteriorates their credibility, and then eventually it's going to deteriorate the credibility, of the organization as a whole, and it needs to be put a stop to now. It should have been put a stop to way before, but now they definitely need to do something about it, or it's going to become an even bigger problem.
I blame Sexy Kavina.
That was the start of it, all right.
Yeah.
Sure, at least it's the latest.
He's usually the root of all evil.
And that was he was brought in by Dave, right?
Yes, he was. He
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Wow. So this all goes back to Smiling Diamond Dave planting the seed of corrupt officials.
But you have a commissioner who was a known cheater. I mean, him and Don Carson they did not walk the line of truth and justice.
No, they did not.
That was deep.
We got all super friends on us right there.
I mean, you have a commissioner who was a cheater.
Yeah.
And now we have another commissioner who may or may not cheat.
I don't know. Right now I guess the office is in turmoil.
And we weren't there, so we don't know.
Yeah.
So we're just making conjecture.
Well,
It's almost like we're out of the frying pan into the fire.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, would Dave have been the lesser of two evils?
Well, I think at this point he would have. I think that there for a while, it seemed like Dave saw the issues that the AIWF was facing and kind of changed paths and was trying to fix some of the wrongs that he had done, and it's almost like Kevin Phoenix Cochran, that's when he steps in and is like, hey, I don't like how you're running things. Once Dave tried to curtail the Fighters Club, and once he's trying to get rid of corrupt officials, that's when Kevin Phoenix is like, you let things get out of control. You're not doing things right. I need to come in and take over for you. It's like, now you want to do it when he's actually trying to fix the problems. That's when you understand. And I think it's by design. I think he's like, no, that's not what makes good television for the network. Fighters Club makes good television for the network. Don't stand in their way.
I don't think
that's just what I see.
I don't think a in control Fighters Club, as far as Mr. Cochran is concerned, is good for the network.
No, it's not.
Well, I think he's got bigger fish to fry there because he may have pissed off the Fighters Club because he attacked referee Dalen during the Ty Tyson Benny Conley match. So, you know, there again, you know, he may have placed himself on, he's teaming with him, you know, at the big matchup coming up on, you know, January 21st. But my goodness, have you already stepped on somebody's toes?
Yeah.
You know, because like I said, Dalen calls it down the middle if it's not a Fighters Club match. And he came running into the ring and was about to make a count, and Kevin Phoenix put a stop to it, or Triple K put a stop to it. And
well, the thing is, the Fighters Club doesn't care about Dalen. They just,
No.
I mean, he's a useful tool to them. They've made it perfectly clear by the way they treat him that they really don't care one way or another about him, really.
Didn't this happen with the Hart Foundation too? Didn't they have a ref like that?
Danny
Yeah.
Davis.
Yeah,
Oh,
Danny
but
Davis.
Danny Davis had been screwing wrestlers out of titles for a year before that thing with the Hart Foundation happened, though. I mean, he was a little more subtle, though. He got away with it for a long time because you couldn't really, you're kind of like, maybe,
Well, yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, and there is a subtle way to do it, but wearing a T-shirt of the people that you're going to cheat for is definitely not subtle.
No,
Yeah, you
it's-
agree. Yeah, the Fighters Club, like once they're done with him, they'll just leave him in the wayside.
Yeah,
Because
so-
you saw when Jack kicked him in the face, he thought it was funny. I mean, so did everybody else, but you know, you should at least pretend.
He
should at least
posted it
pretend
to
be
social
upset.
media on a loop, you know. I mean,
Right. Said you should have got out of the way.
yeah. I mean, oh mercy. Yeah,
But that's your friend. That's your friend. That's your buddy. You're in the club. You keep telling yourself that, buddy.
well, yeah. Brian brings out a point that I didn't even think about, you know, because when Jack and Claire were on here, they spoke so highly of Dalen, and you know, Dalen's the best he's ever been, and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, now that you mention it, he did put that kick to the face on loop, and it has been seen not in our promotion, but in other indie promotions they go to, smacking around Dalen, and that it hadn't happened lately, but I guess they were afraid they were going to run him off if they kept publicly humiliating him. But now we got two corrupt referees, and it's just it's a hot mess, and I cannot wait to see
Who
what
can they
happens.
trust? I mean,
Oh,
what have we got left? Reggie?
yeah, Reggie. Reggie, we got that guy that comes down from West Virginia. He's pretty
Yeah.
good. And I'm sorry, dude, I forgot your name already. But look, you know, like I said earlier, I was an enthusiast back in the day. So just keep telling me your name, and after about 20 times, I'll get it. But yeah, it's just we got those two. I'm trying to think. That's pretty much it.
That was subtle.
Did I miss something?
Yeah.
Oh, Tim.
Yeah. You missed him completely.
No, I thought he was out with an injury, so I didn't want to put that on public airwaves.
We may have to put him back in there if it keeps going like this.
I bring my ref gear with me every show.
Oh, okay. So he's ready if he needs to get in the ring. So yeah, there might have to be something done about that. But
We can take him out back, hose him down. Hell yeah, man. We'll throw him in
Yeah,
there.
he was ready to jump out from behind the camera and get in there and ref the last event I was there. I was like, I don't know. They keep knocking refs out left and right. I wouldn't go in there if I were you. I'd just stay behind the camera. You're already hurt.
yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Oh, mercy. All right. Well, look, let me go ahead and do a screen share and pay a couple more bills real quick.
Well, I'm gonna let y'all go. I got to get back to work.
All right. Thanks, sir. Thanks for joining us. Take care.
I gotta go put some salt on the road where it's slick up here.
All right. Well,
Be
take care.
careful, Tim.
Okie dokie. We'll see y'all later.
All right.
Yes, sir. Tim taking care of the commuters in Virginia. So especially along the I-77 corridor. So branch management is a tree service that operates out of the Mount Airy, Surrey County area. They can help you with branches that are maybe too close to structures, normal pruning, or complete tree removal. They offer very competitive rates and free estimates are here to serve you. If you recommend them to a friend, you can also be eligible for a $100 referral bonus. All you need to do is reach out for the tree service at 336-755-8204. Wait a minute. No, that's the old number. I'm sorry.
Lost
336.
Tim must be a tractor trailer flipped over somewhere on 77.
Well, he said he had to go salt the road.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, you missed when he left.
336. He was putting the doggy away. 336.
Yeah, I have to do that every week. I was
336.
hoping maybe she'd become an internet sensation, but I guess not.
Yeah, we could. I mean, if we put her on there, featured a clip or something. 336-648-9282 for branch management, the tree service wing, or 336-320-8994. Either one of those numbers can get you in touch for the tree service. I'll give them to you one more time for those listening: 336-648-9282 or 336-320-8994. And they also do landscaping, general contracting, and I say general contracting, well, yard work type stuff, pressure washing service, gutter cleaning, that type of stuff. You can reach out to them. That's a different number. 336-648-2487. That's 336-648-2487. That's branch management. And thank you so much, branch management, for all you've done for this show. And of course, last but not least, our most delicious sponsor, Tees Treats, telling you point blank, best concessions in wrestling. Prove me wrong. I would like to see you do it. But Tees Treats is a food truck service that operates out of Mount Airy, but they have multiple vehicles so they can be at different locations at the same time. They're locally owned in the Mount Airy area. They got pizza, delicious dogs, decadent desserts, and mini donuts. But they're available for any event, music festivals, tournaments, street festivals, whatever you want. You can call them up at 336-755-8204. And you can reach out to them on Facebook.com/Tees Treats as well. Awesome. I think their hot dog chili is to die for. It's 336-755-8204. One more time for those of you listening, reach out to Tees Treats and say, hey, where are y'all going to be this week? 336-755-8204. Rick Diesel, can you tell us where Tees Treats is going to be this week?
In the driveway. It is January.
I know it's January. It's not exactly peak food truck season, but if you want them to come out, they will.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, give her a call. We'll fire it up and hang it on out there. It'll be at the show on the 21st, but I mean, so it's not shut down. It's just in the driveway this week.
I got you. Well, when the weather warms back up, we'll see.
The bookings are already starting to come in for spring.
Oh boy. Yeah. Wow. That's the first thing everybody does in the South when it becomes winter is start making plans for springtime. That's not a very well received time of the year in this part of the country.
No, sir.
All right, folks. So we've discussed the crooked officiating. I'm kind of restricted on what I can show you as far as film clips, but I'm going to negotiate to try to get more of that released by next week and see what we can do. But a lot went on at Seasons Beatings. We want you to see it. We're working on getting that thing up on the Roku channel as fast as possible. But of all, it was a loaded card. A lot of title matches on it and everything. But man, I had no idea things were going to break loose like they did at Seasons Beating. It was really, really controversial this year. And that's a lot of the hang up, folks, on why we're having trouble getting the tapes released, is because I don't think the AIWF Championship Committee and the governing body is really done examining all that footage, Rick Diesel. I mean, it's just a lot went down that night.
There was a lot went down in that ladder match, the girls' ladder match.
Oh my goodness.
My God.
Yeah, that was vicious. Clara and Jada Stone took it to a new level of violence in that match. And I had no idea that, I mean, I knew it was going to be good because those two girls are as tough as nails, but goodness sakes, man.
I hate y'all missed that, Brian.
Yeah,
I know.
God.
We had a tragedy, so
I understand.
Understand.
So
But-
yeah, I missed it too. I really really wanted to see it. So I want to see the release tape so I can see it, because I really wanted to see it. So
Yeah, and the reason we're saying release tapes for all you young folks out there, back before the digital age, you captured audio and video on these things called VHS cassettes. And so when we say release the tape, that means, you know, release the footage. So we've got all the footage. We've got the footage from every angle. Oh my God. It's just we are not being allowed to show it yet. And this is why I got to tell you, folks, the independent scene is still driven on live attendance. It really is. You know, although we've got a lot of YouTube fans in India that I'm sure ain't eagerly anticipating the release of this stuff. And we're going to get it out there to everybody as soon as we can. But guys, you got to come to the live events. You know, after Deal with the Steel, that first show in September, crowd was way down. What happened that night? Jack became the Mid-Atlantic champion. Anything can happen at any time in the AIWF Mid-Atlantic. You never know. You know, and I've been coming around here for a long time, and things have a tendency to get weird out of nowhere. And, you know, at season's meetings, we're expecting a bunch of epic matches. We got them, but all the controversy surrounding just about everything that happened, even Gorilla Q and Matt Anderson. I'm limited to what I can say on that, but oh my God, that blew my mind too. It was just unbelievable, folks. So like I always say, if you're within 100 miles of Mount Airy, get up there. And look, we're still doing winter prices. So come January 21st, we're going to have $5 floor seats and $3 bleachers still in effect. Also the 5 p.m. bell time. So we definitely love to have you join us. Any other thoughts, gentlemen?
Well, yeah, Matt, you know, you're right. Like, especially with independent wrestling, you know, a lot of the bigger promotions, like you're only going to see something big happen on a pay-per-view. They're not going to have anything big happen just at a regular live show. That's not going to happen in indie wrestling. You know, especially a promotion like AIWF Mid-Atlantic, we're not going to save everything just for the big shows. We're gonna go all out. I mean, do we go even more all out on the big shows? Sure, but we know that on those non-big event shows like Caesar's Beatings, Capital Punishment, all those shows in between, those are the build-up to those big shows, and big things happen on those shows as well. And if you want to keep caught up on what's going on and be the first to see it and not get it spoiled on Facebook, then like you said, the best thing to do is to watch it live.
Mm-hmm.
AIWF is where people are making their names. I mean, this is where people like Jack and Claire are building their names. This is the organization where they start. This is where the organization where superstars start.
Right.
We have
Yes.
people that are we have people who started in AIWF who are in the WWE now.
Right. You want
And
to
in AEW who are AEW champions.
right.
And so you want to catch them at our shows.
Yeah. You want to get their 8x10 that they're selling now and get their autograph now before they were a big star. And,
Yes,
and
because
see-
you could have got a picture here of Adam Page when he weighed 120 pounds.
Mhm.
That's
yeah.
right. Now his own friends can't get him to. Now his own friends can't get him to return text messages.
Yeah.
So I mean,
You know, and what is the Bravado's name in WWE now? I can't think. What is it?
Andre Chase.
Yeah,
Chase.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
you could have saw him every weekend in 2002 probably, and through 2000, whatever, every weekend, and, this is where, I mean, and I'm not being, it sounds egotistical, but it's true. I mean, we are the beginning of where you're going to see superstars, and you need to come because this is where they put their blood and sweat and tears on the line to make those names.
Not only on the line, but all over the canvas and floor sometimes, especially the blood. So, Brian, you resemble that remark. So.
And like what you were saying, I mean, if you can go to the AIWF Facebook right now and scroll down, and the first match you'll come to is Justin Flash versus Cedric Alexander, who's in WWE.
Yeah, a lot of the big stars been through here. China came through here. Let's see, Adam Page, Cedric Alexander comes to mind. Andre Chase comes to mind. Who else? Who am I missing?
I mean, just some people that are like big on the indies, like Axton Lowe, has come through. Axton Ray.
Axton Ray.
Sorry. Axton Ray. And then, and God, I'm so stupid. Edit that out.
Well, she called his dad Jeter the whole time when we had with him a few weeks ago. It's consistency, and consistency wins championships.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we knew him since he was a little kid.
Yeah. I remember when he used to come to the shows, and everybody be like, well, look, who came with chains?
We're the only organization. Well, one of the only organizations besides when Ricky Morton was heel with the York Foundation that worked heel, because when he was at the family on Fright Night, so. It's,
and he used to bring his kid, who is the NWA world junior heavyweight champion now.
Yeah, Kerry.
Yeah.
And Kerry's got
he used to come in dragging Ricky's bag.
Kerry's got some skill, man. I'm telling you, with some seasoning on him in a few years, watch out.
It's in his blood.
That's the thing. When you've been around as long as we have, you got a heck of a lot better chance of hitting somebody that's going to make it big.
Yeah,
I mean, and that's a lot of them is without the. I mean, they was here, and then they made connections that got them there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. And that's
But they come from here to those connections,
right? Yeah, they got their start here.
Because I like to say,
sharpen their skills.
When I remember the Bravados when they was, wrestling in a parking lot down in Reedsville.
Slick and Willie.
You know what I'm saying? And we got them, and look at them now.
Yeah, one's a politician and one's a professional wrestler. So.
Well, if you think about
they're like if Kane split in two.
We forgot Yuta Wheeler.
Oh yeah,
Wheeler.
Yeah.
How do you say
Yuta Wheeler?
Yeah.
Wheeler, yeah.
Trained it, and he has interviews where he said that he trained at the AIWF Academy in Myrtle Beach. I mean,
yeah. And he's making a big splash. He's with some pretty big deals in AEW right now. Cornette hates him, but I think Cornette hates everybody. Yeah, exactly. Because he calls him.
Who doesn't Cornette hate?
He calls him Wheeler useless, and I've been so tempted to reach out on Twitter and be like, "Dude, I know this guy. He's not that bad of a guy." I think it's his promos that Jim doesn't like but he's starting. I'm telling you, he's improving on that. Last time he cut a promo, he looked like he was really mad. And he was putting his finger right in the camera lens and yelling, and I was just like,
"Well, you remember the Christmas where he was singing."
Oh yeah, that's available on our
Jingle
YouTube.
Bells. He's on
Y'all
that.
put that up over Christmas, didn't you?
Yes, we did. And did you see one of the comments on there? The guy was like, "Man, it's weird to see Yuta without the beard and mustache." So it's definitely got some attention. So yeah, visit our YouTube channel, everybody. AIWF Ringside Wrestling on YouTube. We're fighting the good fight to get good independent wrestling on the air and available to you as quickly as possible. And it's
time delayed on the Roku channel.
Yep, that's all right.
I don't know if y'all's guilt trips work.
No, I don't.
It doesn't. It has no effect. I don't even think he watches the show. because the Triple K comment, if he was watching, would have got a dial in. But anyway, so we will I don't really have much more to say because we're limited on what we can show you and what we can discuss, but believe me, we are working through it. And folks, I'm telling you, when you see all that went down at Seasons Beatings, you're going to be kicking yourself for not being there. It was unbelievable, everything that went down. And I cannot wait until January 21st because the fallout from all that, it's coming. You know, I mean, we got the 8-man elimination tag team match. There's nothing but bad blood in there. And I think that we might find out if Fighters Club has any ill will toward Kevin Phoenix Cochran III in that match, because Don Petty, David Parrish are on that team, and so is he. We're going to see, you know, if there is any bad blood. I mean, that would be a perfect chance to take a cheap shot. So
Yes.
we'll see. We'll see. But gentlemen, lady, final thoughts, comments, everything. We'll probably get out of here pretty quick.
I'm good. I babbled through the whole show, so what have I got to say at the end?
Well,
Yeah, you know, we hate that we missed Seasons Beatings. Yeah, I heard it was a really great show, a lot of stuff happening, but really looking forward to the show coming up in a couple of weeks. Just for that one match alone, the 8-man elimination match is worth the price of admission alone.
no
And the fact
kidding.
that you're going to get even more matches on top of that, just icing on the cake.
Yes.
And I'll be back next week to break kayfabe names. Always.
Thank you for that service. Hey, and let me give a shout out. Like my in-laws from Phoenix were in here. They had never seen AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling ever, I don't think, unless the kids had pulled some of the old stuff up on YouTube. But my niece Kate is a huge Jada Stone fan. Now she loves her some Jada Stone, and she was so starstruck by Jada that I said, look, I know Jada, I can take you and you can meet Jada and have your picture made with her. You do it now, just like you were saying earlier, Brian, before she signs a big contract with a TV company and goes away. And you can always say, hey, I knew her when. And she was so starstruck, she couldn't do it. She was giggling like she was 14 and she's 18. There's not that much difference, but you know how teenagers are.
Right.
And she could not bring herself to do it. And when I told Jada that, she was just, you know, she was like, wow, okay. You know, so it's amazing the influence wrestlers have on people, you know, even
it is. You can,
fans.
yeah, there's, I mean, especially with kids, but I mean, even fans in general, you know, you can, you know, they don't think of you as, oh, that's just an independent guy. He's not on national TV.
No.
Right. They're like, that's a wrestler. They're in a ring. They're doing just what they do on TV and doing it, you know, just as well. And yeah, they look up to you, and it is surprising to you on this level to know that you've, like, I've talked to guys who are wrestling now who watched me wrestle when they were kids. Makes me feel old, but it does make me feel good. It's like, you know, one of the reasons they started wrestling is because they came and watched me wrestle when they were kids.
I mean,
and it's a good feeling.
I was in an Applebee's in Winston once, and somebody recognized me and got an autograph. And it tickled me to death. It's like the only time it's ever happened in my entire life. But like, it was just amazing. Like that I would like that anybody like would even care. And it was just amazing. And they do, and the fans do care, and they back you, and they love you, and they hate you, and they love to hate you. And it's a great feeling.
It is.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think Jada Stone has got an appearance coming up on the AEW YouTube show, don't you?
I maybe saw that. I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to.
I know that she's I believe she's wrestled for Impact before. I think we saw some stuff on YouTube where she's wrestled. She's already wrestled on Impact. So yeah, it's definitely a possibility.
Well, maybe Taz will have the common courtesy to not mispronounce her name when she goes on.
Oh,
there, like
yeah,
he
I
did
heard
Jay
about that.
Malachi.
Who did he do
Look,
it? Did he do it
Well,
again?
he just did it to Axton's partner
Are you
when they
serious?
I saw
wrestled
that.
Dark. I guess I don't know how the guy says it either, but I know the last name's Loco, but I don't know how. I think it's just John Loco.
Look, that is so
but I don't know,
disappointing.
but I'm not the commentator.
Taz is a radio broadcaster on a sports station in New York, for God's sakes. I mean, there is no reason that should be happening. And it just hurts my heart because I know he's better than that. And he's taking a shit on these kids that are coming there trying to make a name for themselves. And I don't understand what kind of sick pleasure he gets in it. I mean, if he thinks that's part of breaking them in or whatever, but look, they used to have squash matches in the territory days, and you never heard Bob Caudle or David Crockett purposely obliterate somebody's name and make fun of them. Right. So, I don't understand the logic in that.
Right.
My new friend David Crockett would not do that.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, and Ted, don't get too high up.
Not on
yourself.
purpose,
I know
anyway.
when you first started, you didn't just have the Taz name; you had a Taz gimmick.
Yeah,
you wear shoes and was doing the "I'm a crazy wild man" thing. So don't,
barefooted.
When you first started, that's how that was you. You know, everybody gets their start, and that's you don't know what level they're going to get to. Those guys are really young. They have plenty of time. They may be in a position to be like, oh, that's the guy who kept messing up my name in my match on AEW Dark. I don't want him calling my matches anymore.
And I think that's the second time they've had a match on Dark.
It is. Yeah, that was.
It's also the second time he's butchered somebody's name.
Yeah. I mean, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very easy to learn how to say somebody's name.
Right. And you're not just making the wrestler look bad. You're making the whole promotion look bad.
Yeah.
And you give people like us the opportunity to come on here and talk crap about you.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I got all the respect. I got all the respect in the world for Taz. I would never badmouth him because I don't want to get suplexed. But still, it's like you set this gold standard in wrestling broadcasting since you retired. First you were on SmackDown, and then you went all these other places, and then you got the sports talk show in New York. I mean, #1 media market in the country, and you can't say Jay Malachi?
Yeah.
Something don't, like Johnny.
Oh, is that the guy, that Jay Malachi that's wrestled with us?
Yes, our champion.
I didn't know they messed up his name too. Wow, that's terrible.
It was bad.
That's terrible.
Anyway, folks, let's not.
Wah.
All right. Anyway, Taz, you can.
He's got your act together.
He's got a bad neck. Come at me.
Yeah. Oh, and it was confirmed in the comments on the Facebook page that Jada Stone it does have a match coming up on Dark.
All right, so she'll be on 2 YouTube channels now, ours and the AEW one. I bet she gets a few more hits on that AEW.
I bet her match will last longer on ours, and it'll be a lot more fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, hey, she's gonna have to get a lot of hits on that AEW one because she's got over 20,000 on ours, and that's just the first match. Clara and Nurse Micah have over 105,000, so we could see why I'm chomping at the bit to get that ladder match on there. Oh my god!
Oh yeah,
that's gonna really be popular. All right, so folks, we're gonna wrap things up and head on home. Panel, stay right here. I'm gonna cut off all recording devices and we will hear that breaking news that we're not going to share on the air. Boy, as a listener, I bet you're pissed off right now. I know I would be. All right. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us this week for AIWF Ringside Wrestling. Like I said, we're going to continue to fight the good fight, get those tapes released, and we will get them up on YouTube as fast as possible, and as well on the network on Roku. Remember, the AIWF network is available on all Roku devices. All you have to do is just basically search AIWF Network. Nothing to it. I mean, and it will come up. Once you see the blue letters, you know you're in the right place. If you've been to the YouTube page, the colors are the same. across the border that you will see on Roku that you see on YouTube. So if you visit Ringside Wrestling, the AIWF Ringside Wrestling page on YouTube, look for the same colors on Roku, you know you're in the right spot. All right. So for Pagan, Brian Danzig, Rick Diesel, I'm Mad Matt Carter. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next week, fans. And until then, so long for now.